Hi, and welcome to Just Drew. My name is Drew, and this is a space where we focus on reinvention, renewal, and reviving your life wherever you may be. And it's basically a space where we remember ourselves and remember who we are and who we're going to be. Today, I'm going to talk about looking at your life in the lens of a movie. I thought this is a new and quite interesting take, and I came across it on TikTok. And I'll link the TikToker below. I can't remember her name right now. And I'll talk about the various aspects of a movie and how we can relate our lives to it and build the life that you want to have. All movies have different aspects within them that make the final movie that we see in the end work. We have the main actors, the directors, the producers, the casting agents, and the like. And it's very important to, when you're looking at your life through that lens, to also realize that every aspect, every person who is in this role has a very important role to play, and it will be the same in one's life. So we're going to talk about that. And the first role we're going to talk about is the main actor, which is, of course, you. As the main actor in your own life, you have to realize the importance of putting your best foot forward in the role and playing as this is the role of a lifetime, because it is. There's no other role you're going to get. And you should the role in the movie of your life to the best of your abilities. Of course, I'm not talking about pretending. I'm talking about relaying every aspect of your life as it should be, and relating to others how you should. So understanding the different dynamics that are in play in your life, and understanding that wherever your life is headed to is based on you and your interactions with different people, different situations, how you handle things, and how you move forward in life as a person. And you being the main character, the main actor, this is the most important role, actually, I would think, in the movie of your life. So you should always have that in mind while you're navigating through your day-to-day life, because every action every day is what actually does make a life. And if you're slacking every day, you will unfortunately be slacking at life. So you have to be up to date, engaged, and in love with your life and enjoying it and playing your role as the main actor in your life to the highest extent of your abilities. The next role I'll talk about is you as the director, who is in charge of directing every scene of your life, how you engage with different people, how you want everything to look. And this is all the other roles. This is a very important role, because how you direct yourself while walking through life, again, will make up the scenes of your entire life. If you are aggravated and aggressive with different people all the time, that's what you'll become known as. And maybe that's not what you want to be seen as. So it's your responsibility to direct your emotions, direct how you handle situations, direct how you want your life to flow, despite what is thrown your way, because every challenge that comes your way, how you react to it will lead you into a particular path. Of course, you can use whatever help or resources you have to confront challenges in your life, but the level of aggression or hostility that you put forward will greatly lead to where your life will end up in the long run. So we have to direct ourselves as human beings as we walk through the path of life. And the director role, as all the others, is very important. The next role that you need to look at as you look at your life as a movie is the producer role. And in this role, you have to look at how are you producing your life? You have to look at everything that's coming your way. How are you utilizing those resources in your own life? How are you, for example, when you get funding, finances, how are you budgeting your money? What are you using your money towards? Are you wasting it on alcohol and throwing it away, basically, or substances that will not be of any importance to you the next day or the next hour? and how you manage all your finances and manage and handle your life, how you manage your energy, all of this is given to you and you're responsible for it, because nobody is going to tell you when you wake up in the morning that you should do ABC. It's your responsibility to know that you have the time, you have the skill, you have the help to put forward and to build yourself as a person. And this is what you should use to produce a positive outcome in your life as the producer. The next aspect we look at is you being the screenwriter of your life. You are in charge and in control of how your life will flow moving forward. Different situations will come your way, but it's you to write the scene of what you want it to look like when the situation does arise. Are you going to be, emotionally resilient, strong, mature when you're handling different aspects of your life? Or are you going to be, not in control of your emotions and throwing tantrums, which grown-ups still do? Are you going to be leading and writing the script of your life? Or are you going to have external forces write it for you? So it's important to think about how you want your life to flow as you move forward, because this is a role that's in your life and nobody's going to do it for you, because what is in is what comes out when you're dealing with people and situations. So work on your inside, work on what you want to emote when you are speaking or when you are handling tough situations, because that is what you'll be known for. And depending on what you want to be known for, if you want to be known as a calm, level-headed person, then you have to work at it on a daily basis. So think about what you want the script of your life to look like, and actively work towards that. And the next role we have is the cinematographer, who is in charge of frames in movies and what they want the movie to look like. And for you, what would you like the movie your life to look like? How are you framing your life? Are you negative when you're faced with difficult situations? Are you just pushing forward, knowing that eventually you will push through and the situation will concluded, and whatever outcome comes, you handle it and you move forward with it? Are you taking responsibility for your life, or are you just blaming others? The way one looks at life is the way one will lead their life in totality if they don't figure it out and realize what they're doing. Because if one is constantly negative or constantly using substances to move through life, that's what your life will be. And if that's not what you would like your life to have or to look like, you need to think through it and work on it yourself and say to yourself, how am I going to move forward without this negativity? How can I shed it and look at life through a more positive lens? Because many of us have situations that are quite positive, and if you focus only on the negative, it overruns the positive that's going on in your life. And I'm not saying you be delusional and just pretend that it doesn't exist, but heavily focusing on the negative can also affect even positive situations. So you have to think through how you'd like to frame your life and how you'd like it all to look like going forward. Next, we have the editor. And in the editor, they are the one who they cut things in movies, they edit. And you as well, in charge of editing your own life. We all experience challenges, negative, tough situations that we have to go through. And for example, if you have a tough situation at work or with a workmate, how you go through the next day will be, of course, solely be up to you and the other person. But you can edit out a situation to make it less combative and less aggressive. You don't have to actively be aggressive with everybody as you go through life. You can just avoid people. For example, if you have an aggressive workmate or workmate that you do not mesh with, if you can avoid them, do so. And it's just a part of being mature and growing up. And then, of course, if the situation escalates, you can take it to high authorities who will be able to figure it out. But it's important to build your life to be whatever you want it to be, and you edit out negative people, situations that you can edit out. And it can even be family. It doesn't even need to be people in work. It can be family. If you feel that it's constant negativity in your life from a family member, from somebody who is in a close circle around you, you can reduce the interactions that you have with them. You can just edit them out of your life. There are no rules in this life. It's your life, your rules. Just make sure you're able to live with whatever rules that you make, and you should be good to go. Next, we have the sound designer. What do you want your life to sound like? Do you want it to sound like an action movie, or do you want it to sound like a calm movie? This is very interesting, because if you want your life to sound chaotic, disruptive, and totally stressful, that is also something that is within your control. And I'm not talking about, for example, if one has a large family with children and things like that, because children will be children, and at an age when they are noisy and they're all rambunctious and doing all these things. But talking about the adults you interact with on a daily basis and the situations you put yourself with on a daily basis. Would you like them to be calm? Would you like them to be noisy and stressful? That again is up to you, because what situations are you putting yourself in? What places are you actively taking yourself to? And if you start thinking about that, you'll start realizing that there are places that maybe you should not be in. It's for you to decide and decipher that by yourself, and to fully build the life that you want. If the life that you currently have does not sound like what you imagine. So think through where you want to be, what you want to do, with who, and live your life accordingly. And another thing in terms of looking at your life through a movie lens is thinking of how you'd look at it if your life was a movie and you were the visual designer. Now, the visual designer could be in charge of the effects that are in your life, and you as a visual designer in your movie need to sit back and think about what effects do I want to have coming towards me? What do I want my future to look like? What do I want it to be? Who do I want to have it in there? Will they bring peace? Will they bring chaos? How will I react to the peace and the chaos? All these things you as an individual are responsible for. If you're responsible for how you want the reactions to come out of you, and then how they will be perceived will be by somebody else. But how you want to look at yourself and what you want to have in your life and plan and work towards that is solely your responsibility. So these are things that you need to think about and observe in your life, and realize that you have to build it according to what you want to observe in your life as you go forward. And lastly, another role that I look at is that of the costume designer. Of course, a costume designer creates the costumes for the movie, and you should create the costumes that will be in your life. And you have to think, what do I want to look like? How will I feel when I'm in whatever costumes? Because we all have costumes when we're going out. It could be sloppily put on. It could be put together well. It could be a costume that costs a lot. It could be a costume that costs a little, but you're carrying it so well that many people think it costs a lot. How do you want to be perceived? And most importantly, how do you perceive yourself? All the costumes that we wear build into this. All the costumes we have in life, how we show up in the world, it's us to put on our own clothes and costumes. So you have to think about, how do I want to be seen? Do I want to be seen like I rolled out of bed? Do I want to be seen like I don't care about what I look like? Do I want to be seen untidy, clean, dirty, proud, not proud, embarrassed? And all this can be is visible through your clothing. So you should think about the costumes of your life. Do I want to be seen as somebody who is proud and all out there and ready to face the world? Or do I want to be seen as somebody who is timid and hiding, and that's how you're facing the world? Essentially, it's all up to you. Nobody's going to come and make these decisions for you. You have all the ability, all the tools that you need to make these decisions on a daily basis. And the lovely thing is that they can be changed on a daily basis. Of course, one would want to build a movie that is headed somewhere. So it's important to think about these different roles cohesively and to realize that whatever roles you're building together and how they work together and mesh together, what is going to build your life in totality. So that's how one could look at their life as their movie. I think it's a good analogy, a great analogy, because it covers almost everything in one's life. And if you have any comments about them, I'd be so glad to read them below. And if you've done this before with your own life, please also do share. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll be back with more videos. Bye-bye.